Hi, everybody. Congratulations on graduating law school. I am Commissioner Childs from the San Luis Obispo County Superior Court, and I am here today to give you a COVID-style commencement speech. You'll never forget this year, will you? You won't forget graduating law school, and you won't forget having to go to law school in the COVID pandemic. I want to commend you all for everything that you've done so far, putting up with online classes and dealing with the pandemic and the fires and all the things that we've had to put up with in the last year and a half, and going to law school, probably, and working and raising your families. You should be very proud of yourselves. You've done it. You've done something very, very difficult, and that should not go unnoticed. So congratulations on that. You've just made an amazing investment into your mind. No one can ever take your education away from you. And this law school education, whatever you choose to do with it, is going to be the springboard to all of the exciting things that you're going to do in your future, and supporting yourself, supporting your family, and contributing to society and your local community. So it's an amazing day. Congratulations. Enjoy it, relish it, do all that you can before you know what is going to happen. And you know what is the bar exam, right? That's kind of the cruel twist to law school, is that you get to celebrate, but you don't get to totally celebrate, because everybody knows in the back of their mind, there's one little thing you have to do before you're totally done, and that's take the bar exam. So I have been watching some of the other contributors to the commencement speeches, and they've been very entertaining and fun for me to watch myself. And I was thinking about what I could contribute and what I could say that you could walk away with that was particular and helpful. And so I have composed 7 key points to being a good attorney, 7 perspectives, 7 pieces of advice from a bench officer, from my position, that might help you be a great attorney, good attorney, better attorney, fabulous attorney, whatever kind of attorney you want to be. But I think these are pieces of advice that will help you. I spent a lot of years as a litigator, and law school doesn't really teach you some of those finer things about how to behave in a courtroom or how to behave outside of the courtroom, kind of like those nuances that just don't come in a book. They come after years of experience in and outside of the courtroom. I'm here to share those with you. Okay, so number 1, I just talked about it, the bar exam. Don't underestimate the bar exam. It is really, really, really hard. Now think about a really hard test in your head and then multiply that by 3. It's really hard. The next few weeks of your lives are going to make all the difference. And if you just want to do it one time, then don't do anything else but study, study, study. Take an hour or 2 off a day to exercise, try to eat some healthy, nutritious food. But when people are inviting you out to barbecues and to the coast and to Carmel by the Sea or to LA or to Hawaii, my suggestion is to be the most boring person they know and turn them down, because you have to study for the bar exam. Don't underestimate the power of the bar examiners. Don't underestimate how difficult it is. Give everything you've got to the next few weeks of your lives, and don't ever have to do it again. So my first suggestion, my first piece of advice is do nothing. Don't underestimate. Try not to work. If you can do it, don't work. Try not to clean your house if you can get away with it. Do those MBEs, outline those essays, do those performance exams, get yourself ready. Don't underestimate how difficult it's going to be. And once you've passed, then you can really, really celebrate. So that's my first piece of advice. Piece of advice number 2, you're not done learning. Never stop learning. You think that you've learned everything, your brains are completely full and at maximum capacity. Nope, it's not even begun. As soon as you get your bar card and you pass and you step foot into a courthouse or a law firm or a law office or agency, wherever you decide to work, then you're going to have to learn how to be an attorney. And then you're going to have to learn how to apply what you learn in law school to the real world. So don't stop learning. Get comfortable with the fact that you don't know everything. Get comfortable with the fact that you're going to have to ask questions. And as you progress through your years as an attorney, Remember to carve out time for yourself to do MCLE, not just what's required of you, but maybe what will make you a better attorney, more knowledgeable practitioner, what have you. But your journey as a student has only begun, and the best attorneys out there are ones who are always studying, always reviewing, always listening to the MCLE recordings in their car, going to the MCLE sessions after hours or on weekends. Don't ever stop learning. Keep up with things and refresh your memory. Realize we're going to forget a lot of stuff. You forget code sections, you forget cases. Go back and read it. Go back and read it again. Go back and refresh. You're going to be a student for the rest of your career. And those people with that mentality usually make amazing attorneys. Piece of advice number 3, be nice to the clerks. Make sure when you call the court or you talk to a courtroom clerk, be really, really nice to them. They're the gatekeepers to the judge. They have the judge's ear or the commissioner's ear. Be nice to them. They're working really, really hard. They got a lot to do. And just treat them with the respect that they deserve. And maybe you're going to be nice to them, but don't let your staff mistreat them, or don't let your staff harass them or send them too many emails. Just be really respectful. The clerks are like the key to the courtroom. They've got the golden key to the judge's chambers. Piece of advice number 4. This is a big one for me, and anyone who knows me, it's kind of a big deal for me, but dress professionally in the courtroom. If you're going into a courtroom and you're representing clients, to your client, that's probably the most important day of their year, if not their life. This is the day when some stranger is going to make a decision about their children, their family, their money, their contracts, their freedom. Dress like it matters to you. Don't go in thinking like, I don't feel like putting a tie on today, or I don't feel like wearing a collared shirt or whatever. Take the sunglasses off your head. Leave the venti mocha frappuccino with whip in the car. Come in ready to play your A game and bring your A game. Show the court that you're ready to be there. Show your client that you respect them and you respect their positions, their lives, their needs. And part of doing that is playing the part and dressing for it. So that's kind of my deal. And I know it's a big deal for some other judges, but I think that dressing appropriately and professionally makes a big difference and sends a message. At least it sends the first message. Here's number 5. And this one's kind of a no-brainer, but it needs to be said. Be prepared. Come to court prepared. Don't skimp on preparation, because it's painfully obvious to the bench officer, and it's probably obvious to your client and to the other people in the courtroom. Be prepared. I will admit, I had babies. I was having my family while I was an attorney in court. And there are some nights you spend up with your baby. You're not spending them up reading or preparing your files. And sometimes I did go to court unprepared. Sometimes I try to bluff, and I don't think I bluffed very well. Other times I just admitted, Your Honor, I need a continuance. I had a sick baby last night. I was not able to fully prepare like I needed to. May I please have a continuance for the benefit of my client? Sometimes you just have to kind of fall on your sword and say it. And most of the time, the judges will be very gracious. But to the best of your ability, be prepared for court. Don't ever skimp on preparation. Number 6, this is like almost the most important one, is move forward as an attorney as if there are no limits to your abilities. If you're like me, and I think a lot of people are like this, there's that voice in your head that tells you you're not young enough, you're not old enough, you're not smart enough, you didn't go to a good enough law school, you didn't pass the bar the first time, you're not thin enough, you're not eloquent enough. Like, English is not your first language. You don't speak English well enough. You can't do it. You're not good enough. You're not as good as them. Don't listen to that voice. Ignore that voice. That voice might be playing, but do your best to silence it and move forward. Keep your eyes forward. Believe in yourself. There are no limits to your abilities. I went to a law school very similar to Monterey College of Law. I went to San Joaquin College of Law in Fresno, Clovis to be specific. it was a great law school. It was a small law school. It wasn't one that, it wasn't a USC or a UCLA or a Stanford or a Harvard or a Yale, but it was a great law school. I passed the bar the first time. I went out and I had a career that was fun and amazing. There were times I was going up against attorneys that had Harvard Law School degrees, and I mopped up the courtroom with them. There were attorneys that went to great law schools that had years of experience over me, or that I just felt intimidated by because of their reputation. Don't give up on yourself. Don't fail to believe in yourself. Don't believe in what you can do. And there are no limits to what you can do. You just have to believe in yourself. And sometimes you're going to have to be your own cheerleader. You're going to have to be your own cheer section, because sometimes you may not have anybody there in your corner, and you may not have anybody there cheering for you. You're going to have to be that person. But if you always remember that there are no limits to your abilities, once you pass the California bar exam, it's the great equalizer, and you go and achieve everything that you have in your mind. Don't limit yourself. And lastly, number 7, and I think the most important piece of advice I could possibly give you is, your reputation enters the courtroom before you even parked in the parking garage. It'll take a career to build your reputation as an attorney who comes prepared, who tells the truth, who is professional, who is articulate and smart and educated and well-versed on current law. It'll take you all that time. And I think really, really, really specifically is, always be honest, always tell the truth, never lie, never lie as an attorney. Do not lie in the courtroom, and don't lie to a bench officer. Your reputation is circulated because the bench talks. We all talk to each other, and sometimes we talk between counties about things that happen in the courtroom. So you always want to make sure that you never compromise your integrity. You never compromise your professionalism in or outside of the courtroom. It's not worth it, because you will have a client that will ask you to bend the truth, or possibly embellish the truth a little bit, or flat out lie. It's not worth it. That one retainer, that one payment, that $1,000 you might make is not worth compromising your reputation. They say, and I'm paraphrasing, it takes years to build up a reputation. It takes a day to bring it down. So cherish your reputation, cultivate it, nurture it, and protect it. That is your branding. Your branding as an attorney, as someone who's one that's honest, integrity. You can believe what they write. You can believe what they say. You better bring your A game, because they always come prepared and they're always a professional. That's more important than any retainer you could possibly receive from one person. That's my last piece of advice. So those are my 7 little bits of information for you that I hope you take, you use, keep what you want, and it helps you be a better attorney, a fantastic attorney, a happier person. I want to thank you for letting me be part of your law school process. I've been lucky enough to teach community property and family law at the San Luis Obispo campus, and I've loved every minute of it. I've enjoyed my time with the students. I think you're funny. I think you're good to each other. I think that you show so much potential, and you all have such a great future. I've learned from you as much as you've learned from me, and I want to thank you for allowing me to be part of that process. Good luck. Pass that bar exam, knock it out of the park. Don't be afraid. Go prepared. You'll do very well. Have fun as an attorney, and I will see you in the courtroom.